Welcome, my friends. Look at that kit. That is my favorite Warlock kit I have ever owned, man. In the back right, that phosphor shader. Oh, that Iron Banner cloak. Love it, man. It gets me so stoked. Today we're talking about two things. The first section is on the best weapons right now in PvP on the December patch, in my opinion. And the second bit, we're talking about general Iron Banner rules that'll give you success in the Iron Banner event that's going on right now. There's plenty of new Guardians amongst us. Rejoice! Plenty of folks got Destiny for the holidays, and this may very well be your very first Iron Banner, which would be crazy, but it would also be awesome. So let's talk about weapons I think right now are the best for new players and experienced players alike. I think these are the most reliable, best option weapons for somebody who just wants to focus on their gameplay and doesn't want to have to play with what I would consider a more finesse weapon. So if you're an experienced Destiny player, there's a lot of weapons you can use because you understand how the different guns work, their different properties. You get that a spacing weapon like a scout rifle works at long distances, whereas a high rate of fire hand cannon like the Last Word works really well at close distances. A new Destiny player doesn't have the same experience, and so these are weapons that I would recommend for anybody. And in big red text, this is just an opinion. This does not represent all of the great guns that are in Destiny for PvP. Starting off, we have the Meta Multi-Tool. Arguably the best PvP weapon in the game. It actually has become insanely popular since the December patch dropped. The agility boost and the third eye benefits just make this thing a monster of a gun right now. Understand, though, that Meta is a spacing weapon and requires the Guardian using it to distance themselves from the fight, forcing engagements at mid-ranges. Up close and really in people's face, it's gonna feel pretty awkward. If you have Radiant Dance Machine, you know, the Hunter exotic leg pieces, you basically become a Cirque du Soleil performer with the agility of the Roadrunner. It's insane. Meta Multi-Tool is an exceptional weapon right now. It's probably going to become the patch weapon, or at least for right now, it's the hot commodity of the month, because it's just really good. The pulse rifle nerfs being ever so slight, but just enough to bring this gun back to the front running of being a very strong spacing weapon. Up next, I would recommend the Red Death. Awesome pulse rifle with a solid skill curve, and I'll talk about that in a second. All of the weapons I'm recommending, mind you, have Year 2 versions and are Year 2 power levels, so you can use them in Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner without being at a disadvantage. So the Red Death's skill curve comes from the fact that it has extremely low aim assist. In fact, I think it's the lowest aim assist stat possible for this impact and rate of fire family of pulse rifles. The Red Death perk is unreal. It destroys the basics and the fundamentals of a first-person shooter. Normally, you weaken the enemy, then you push in and you kill him. Instead, if you are securing kills, that Red Death perk gives you the immediate health regeneration, which is so good. There are so many situations where a person comes around a corner thinking my shields are low, but no, I secured the kill, I've got full health, makes me just a beast, and so, Red Deaths are annoying if you play against a good Red Death player. Here's the thing, though. Your accuracy matters. You must earn the headshots with this gun for it to be effective. The gun rewards those with good accuracy and will punish those if you struggle with aiming. Even with the small pulse rifle nerfs of the December patch, Red Death is still a really strong weapon. Up next, I would recommend the Hawksaw, probably the best beginner PvP gun in the game, in my opinion. It's 150 legendary marks from the robot across from Shaxx. I've reviewed this gun on Planet Destiny and on my own channel. It's a high rate of fire, low impact pulse rifle that has a lovely aim assist stat and solid perks from the vendor. Keep an eye out as well for the Suros PDX 45. This gun is occasionally offered from the gunsmith and is basically the best possible high rate of fire, low impact pulse rifle in the game for PvP. It's got higher aim assist than the Hawksaw. The Hawksaw itself is a good gun. It took a slight nerf, as did all the pulse rifles with the December patch, but it allows you to miss shots without punishing you as harsh as a Red Death or a slower rate of fire pulse rifle will. It's super easy to get if you don't have strange coins for a trip to Xur, or if you don't have an exotic like a Meta or a Red Death. You can go right now to the robot and buy yourself one of these guns. I like the Hawksaw a lot. The next one I'm going to recommend is the Last Word. Super, super viable right now on small and mid-range maps. Run this with a good sniper, and you have a combo for success. The buffs to the hand cannons, even though they were pretty slight in the December patch, has brought this gun back into my regular rotation. This weapon is also a spacing weapon like the Meta multi-tool, and requires you to know what ranges it excels at and where it struggles. Aggressive players will find this very much to their liking, and if you're looking for some hand cannon nostalgia, the last word is back. It's not quite as good as it was previously, but the December patch has really made it a more viable option than it was previously. My last recommendation is the Bad Juju. Don't let the name fool you, this is not a bad exotic pulse rifle at all. I don't have any year 2 footage with it, or I couldn't find any at least. If you confirm your kills, you'll never have to reload. It's an excellent support player option that allows you to send a ton of bullets downrange easily. As with all pulse rifles, they took a bit of a hit with the December patch. Small, but noticeable. If you regularly play with pulse rifles, definitely try out the Bad Juju. It can be a lot of fun and is unique out of this whole list. Right now, personally, I'm playing mainly with the Meta multi-tool. It's so stinking good right now in this current balance setup. The pulse rifle nerfs have dropped that category's effectiveness just ever so slightly, but it was enough to let the Meta come right back into the fray. Now, that's it for my recommendations, but you guys can let us know down below what you like using. There's a lot of guns in Destiny, and I picked ones that I feel are reliable and pretty easy to pick up and use whatever your skill level is. That doesn't mean there's a host of other weapons that aren't great. Alright, so Iron Banner specifics. Let's go over the ground rules with Iron Banner just showing up for probably a lot of new holiday players. Hold 2 points, not 3. We're going back to control on this Iron Banner. Holding 2 points enables the spawn system to work in a nice, predictable manner. When you see somebody going for the triple cap, it usually flips the spawn and has the spawn system using secondary spawns. Don't triple cap unless you have a very specific reason to do so. When you hold 2 points, it's very easy to predict the enemy's spawns. It's very frustrating when you're an experienced player and you see folks going for the triple cap. It can totally destroy the pace of a game, and you could be in the lead and totally lose it at that point, because all chaos ensues when the spawns start flipping. Work with your teammates always. There are indicators where your teammates are at when they're taking fire and when they're shooting. Pay close attention to those indications and work with them. Clean up kills, shoot opponents in unison, fall back to teammates if you're being chased. Working with teammates will win you Iron Banner matches. Make your supers count. I play Voidwalker for Iron Banner most of the time, and I save those Nova Bombs specifically for situations where I know I will get payout for them. That means I save my supers for denying captures and denying heavy ammo. Speaking of the heavy ammo, it wins games. Respect the heavy ammo drops and respect your opponents when they have heavy ammo. That means you need to get your heavy ammo drops every time. If you can deny the opponents, that's even better. When the enemy has heavy ammo, don't blindly rush in and give them free kills. Control is a combination of holding the points and the slaying, so don't give them free kills. And probably the most important tip for Iron Banner is play with friends, play with teammates if you can. Communication and coordinated action is what wins Iron Banner games. You can even go to reddit.com/r/PvP Sherpa or whatever it is. It's in the Destiny subreddit sidebar. But there's an entire subreddit for finding people to play PvP activities with, so there really is no excuse for going in solo and getting super salty, because Iron Banner, it's a lot of people playing together and a lot of teams. And if you can play with a team yourself, not only is the camaraderie and the fun level go up when you play with others, you're going to win a lot more games. Well, that's all the tips I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. At the end of this video here, I'm going to just talk briefly about the state of Destiny and kind of why I've been a little bit absent on the tip videos. And, well, generally, Destiny's in a pretty dry spot. And if you're a hardcore regular player, the last few months, at least for me, has not been filled with a lot of Destiny joy. I think they've made a lot of dumb PR decisions over the last few months, coming to a pinnacle with the $30 level boosts. That is insanely overpriced, at least in my opinion. Also, no Bungie weekly update until January 21st, so they take like a month off of the weekly update. Just feels like something's up. You know, this time last year we had Crota's End, we were playing the Dark Below, Crota's End hard mode was on the way. We knew we were getting House of Wolves. Right now, man, this whole event thing for year 2, I just don't know how I feel about it, because SRL, while fun, is not enough content to last people 3 weeks or a month. I'm still enjoying PvP. You know, we're just in this super gnarly content drought right now. But honestly, it will improve, and it always does. We've gone through these droughts before, and those droughts are mainly directed at hardcore players. If you're a new or newish player, there's a ton of activities to work through in Destiny. Vault of Glass, Crota's End, Prison of Elders, King's Fall. If you've done all of those, and you're like, all right, I've got nothing else to do, I understand. But if you haven't done those yet, man, it's excellent content. Go through that. My recommendation is, if you're bored with Destiny, just play other games. Keep it fresh. You know, participate in the events and give them some feedback. Yeah, I'm sorry we lost. I gave it my all. And got one of those on the bright side medals. Wrapping up this video, I'm still going to be doing video content for Destiny, but I think it's really good to be honest with you all about my feelings right now. I'm not doing PvE stuff. I think it's a real dry spot. I'm not stoked on their PR decisions as of late, and I'm right now just sort of essentially waiting for what's next, for them to have something big to talk about in the Bungie Weekly Update. I still enjoy playing PvP quite a bit. I think the December balance is some of the best balance that PvP's ever seen. But as for PvE stuff, man, I'm not running Nightfalls and I'm not raiding anymore, and I'm playing other games so I don't burn out on Destiny. And if you're a hardcore player, that's what I'd recommend. Anyway, I hope that is some insight as to why I've been sort of quiet about Destiny, other than the podcast over the last probably month or so. Things will improve. They always do. It's just these droughts, man. These droughts. It's getting dry. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have fun in Iron Banner, okay? And Happy New Year.